Good evening, my learners. For today, we are going to talk about a new topic. But before I introduce you to a new topic, I'm going to take you back on the topic that we did at first. That was ratio and percentage. So in the ratio, we were talking about how to calculate the given ratio, and in percentage, we were talking about how to calculate on a certain percentage of a quantity. So now I'm going to introduce you to a new topic, that's a simultaneous equation. And in this topic, we are going to look at two methods on how to work out on a simultaneous equation. Method 1 is using substitution method, and the method 2 is elimination method. So without wasting time, let us go deep into to do some certain calculation. Start with our first example. As you know, our topic for today was simultaneous equation. That's our topic, as I said in my introduction, and we are starting with example 1, which says we are given 2x plus 3y is equal to 2, and 4x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. Okay, on this setting of an equation, with this one we are not going to use the one for elimination, but in this time we are going to use for substitution method, whereby we are going to check out a equation that's a linear equation. So we can take a certain value or a variable that we can use to make it a subject of a formula. Okay, like in this given equation, we can make it's either we make 2x or 3y to be the or x or y to be the subject of a formula by starting. Okay, we are going to use x to be the subject of a formula. So we are going to start by saying 2x plus 3y is equal to 2. Then by making x to be the subject of a formula, we are going to move the value that's disturbing the x on the other side by saying 2x is equal to 2 minus 3y. Okay, in this case we can say that what's disturbing x is 2. So we are going to divide on both sides by 2. We divide both sides by 2, so that this 2 and 2 it will cancel. We left with x is equal to 2 minus 3y all over 2. Okay, since we know now this is our equation now, so we are going to take this equation and substitute on the second equation. That's 4x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. Now wherever we are going to see x, we are going in this equation, wherever we are going to see x, we are going to substitute it with this equation. So we are going to say by 4, you open your bracket, we say 2 minus 3y all over 2, we close. Since it's a squared, we need to square that one also. Then plus y squared is equal to 4. Okay, that's where we go. Now in this one, we need to check out what's really that we need to work out first. So in this equation first, we are going to work out with the square. By working out with the square, we are going to find it that it's going to give us 4, we open bracket, we say 2 minus 3y all over 4 plus y plus y squared multiplied by 4 all over 1 multiplied by 4, which will give us 4 multiplied by 4, and we are going to make this one to be in a fraction form, all over 1 multiplied by 4. So in this case we can see how it will go. So what's happening here is we can see that if we have to break out this one, it will give us so in this equation, when we reach at this stage, we can see that the denominators are the same, so we just ignore the denominator, then work out on the numerators. So our remaining equation is going to be 4, you open bracket, that's say 2 minus 3y squared, plus, when we work out on this one, it will give us 4y squared, which is equal to 4 multiplied by 4, it will give us 16. Okay, when we reach at this stage, we still need to work out on the square part now. That will give us 4. You open your bracket, we say 2 squared, it will give us 4, and 2 times 2, it will give us 4. 4 multiplied by negative 3, it will give us that's negative 12y, then plus 3 squared and y squared, that's 3 squared, it will give us 9y squared, you close, plus 4y squared, which is equal to 16. So in this case, we are going to open out the bracket, so we get the whole equation now. 4 multiplied by 4, it will give us 16. 4 multiplied by 12, it will give us negative 48y. Then 4 multiplied by 9, that will give us positive 36y squared plus 4y squared, which is equal to 16. So when we reach at this stage, we will now collect the like terms. The like terms we can see here is 36y squared and 4y squared. Then we move by, okay, now we move by saying 16 minus 48y plus, now we say 36 plus 4, that will give us 40y squared, which is equal to 16. Now in this case, you can also see 16 here and then 16 there, those are like terms. So what we are doing is like we can just write this one in a proper way, whereby like we start by saying 40y squared minus 48y, which is equal to, if we move this 16 on the other side, it's like it's cancelling, so we remain with the arrow. So after that, what we have to check is like we need to check, are this number square number, or are there other terms that look alike or are identical. Okay, now in this case we check the number that can go into 40 and 48 without leaving a remainder. We can take that number as 8, and also we can see the variable that appearing in both is y. We say y, so you open your bracket. So when we say like 40 divided by 8, we get 5. So y divided by y, it's like y minus y, we get 5y, minus, when we say 48 divided by 8, we get 6, and y will cancel, equal to 0. So in this case we can say 8y is equal to 0, or 5y minus 6 is equal to 0. So in this case, okay, for us to find the value of y here, we divide both sides by 8, whereby like we divide this side by 8, we divide this side by 8, so our y is equal to 0, or we say 5y minus 6 is equal to 0, so we move 6 on the other side, so we remain with 5y is equal to positive 6. We divide both sides by 5, then we're left with y is equal to 6 over 5. Okay, since now we know our two values, one is equal to y is equal to 0, and the other one is y is equal to 6 over 5, we can now take this value and substitute it in any equation, so we get the value of x. Let's move on the next page, and we are going to use both of the values. Okay, now we are taking these values into one of these equations. If we are to say like, we say substitute y is equal to 0 y is equal to 0 in 2, and y is equal to 6 over 5 into equation 1. So we take this 2x plus 3y is equal to 2. So now since we have two values, y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 6 over 5, so we are going to use both of them. If we are to take, like, we start first by saying 2x plus 3, on the place value of y we substitute 0, which is equal to 2, and also we take the other side by saying 2x plus 3, on the place of y we substitute this one, that's 6 over 5 equal to 2. Okay, let us check what is the value of x we are getting. Okay, when we multiply this one exactly, it will give us 0. We remain with 2x is equal to 2. 2x is equal to 2. So value of x is equal to 1. What's happened here, like, you just divide both sides by 2, so you get the value of x. Okay, let us move on the other side now. Okay, when we move out on this one, we are getting that, okay, 3 multiplied by 6. So we get 2x plus 3, we open bracket, whereby, like, we substituted the value of y here that gave us that one. So we need to work out the bracket. So we have like 2x plus 3 multiplied by 6, it will give us 18. So we get 18 over 5 equal to 2. So we collect like terms now. We have 2x is equal to 2 minus 18 over 5. So in this case we are having, so we are getting that 2x is equal to 2 minus 18 over 5. What's really disturbing x here is like 2, so we divide both sides by 2, and this side we also divide by 2, whereby we'll get that our x value, x is equal to, this one will give us negative, which is negative 4 over 5. So we conclude by saying y is equal to 0 when x is equal to 1, and y is equal to 6 over 5 when x is equal to negative 4 over y. So that's our values. If you need, you can just test them by taking, like, when you are substituting the equation where there's y, you put the value of y, then on the x you put the number of x, just like it is corresponding. So you test if it's really the answer we get is correct or wrong. So on this one we are moving again on we are trying another example again, still on simultaneous equation. This one was for substitution, and we are trying on the other one for elimination. So let's check on the one that's having elimination. So we are trying on the other example that will be still example 1, but then this one for letter A, and then now we are moving on the one for letter B. So on the one for letter B, it says like 2x minus 3y is equal to 16, and x plus 2y is equal to 15. Okay, on this equation you just try to check if, like, is there any other number that can maybe eliminate itself. If there are no numbers that can eliminate itself, what you need to do is simple. You just take the first term, you multiply it on both sides. Like on every equation, you take this one again, you multiply it on both sides. That means this one you multiply by 1, then on this equation you multiply by 2. So you find the value that, or the number that can easily give you the way of elimination, because in this case we are trying to use the elimination method. So let us start. If you have to say like 2 times 1, we still get 2x minus 3y, which is equal to 16. With this one it won't change because we are multiplying by 1. But then on the other equation now, we are moving on. If we say like 2 multiplied by x, we get 2x, and 2 multiplied by 2, we get plus 2 plus 4y, then which is equal to, if we say like 2 multiplied by 15, that's exactly, we get 30. Okay, now in this case we can now start working by. So we get this one, our new equation. Now we get this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So now we can start by, you can now eliminate. Okay, by eliminating you check when they are like sign, that means you substitute, but then when they are different sign, that means you add. In this case we are substituting this way, you underline. So we start by saying 2 minus 2, that's obvious, it will cancel. But then if we have to say like negative 3 minus positive 4, that one is like a negative, and then a positive and negative will always win, whereby like we will get negative 7. Negative 7y is equal to, if we are to say 16, if you are to say 16 minus 30, so you say that one 16 minus 30, that will give us negative 14. Okay, on this case, when you know our values is this way, so what we need to do, like we just divide both sides by negative 7 and this one also by negative 7, so we can get the value of y. So our y is equal to, if we have to say that one negative 14 divided by negative 7, our answer will be positive 2, because negative and the negative will cancel. So we know like our value for y is equal to 2. Now we'll take this value and substitute it on the first equation, so for us to get the value of x. So let us go by saying 2x minus 3y is equal to 16. So we are substituting this equation into this equation. We say by substitute y is equal to 2 into equation 1. So if we have to say like, okay, 2x minus 3, on the place of value, on the place of y we put 2, which will give us is equal to 16. Now we are saying, now we open the bracket, so 2x minus 6 is equal to 16. So we now collect like terms by moving. We say 2x is equal to, we move negative 6 on the other side, it becomes a positive. So when we goes on the other, it will give us 22. We'll get 22. So on this now 22, we take like, for us now we need to find the value of x, whereby like we divide both sides by 2, whereby like our x becomes 11. Now if you wanna try it, you can just test by saying, by taking this way, if you get that 16, by saying in this equation we are having 2x. Now this one is on test. Now we are testing to see if our answers are really correct. 2x minus 3y is equal to 16. Since we know our value y is equal to and x is equal to 11, we can go by saying this way now. So we say 2 on the place of what? X we put 11, we close, minus 3 on the place of y we put our 2. Let us see if we can really get this one. We can now expand this one. 2 times 11 we get 22, minus 3 times 2, this one will give us 6, Now let us try to say now 22 minus 6 is equal to 16. So our answer is correct. So this one, like we have tested like that, it can work. Now for more information, you can still continue on the remaining topics. So these are the topics that we have shared. That was for elimination and substitution method. So thank you for watching. You can follow for more steps if you want for more. Thank you. See you next time.